Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tribe of Leaders podcast. I'm your host, Emi Kirshner. And on today's episode, I welcome Andre Cunningham of Returning Point to the show. If you've been wondering lately how you can connect with your leads or your clients more effectively, you definitely want to listen in and listen all the way through, because Andre shares how he's built his company around mobile marketing and specifically text marketing. He shares an amazing number of great tips about how this can help you be more profitable, connect with your clients, as I said, and how it can even be more effective than email marketing. My name is Emi Kirshner. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. The one thing that I get asked all the time is, how do you achieve success in business and make an impact? In each episode of the Tribe of Leaders podcast, you'll hear from entrepreneurs and visionaries who share how their leadership has changed not only their lives, but the lives of everybody around them. Hey, Andre, welcome to the Tribe of Leaders podcast. I am so excited to have you here and to learn more about your company. Share with everybody a little bit about who you are and all the awesomeness that you offer the world.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you again for having me on your show. I really appreciate that. So I guess in a nutshell, I'm a 25-year veteran in the wireless communications industry. Most of my time has been in management for one of the larger cell phone providers in the nation. The last 15 years of my time with them, I was a regional manager managing wireless data solutions teams for 5 states for that company. Right. And what we ended up doing was kind of managing wireless data solutions and introducing data applications to the world. And then fast forward to when that career came to an end, I started my own company selling and marketing text marketing solutions. And that's what brings us together today.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the catalyst for you starting your business? I always love the story behind this is where I'm at now.
Right.
Yeah.
The catalyst was, as I mentioned, my last career was managing these types of wireless data solutions for our clients. And as I was kind of coming to an end of that career, I was trying to think, what is going to be the next big thing? What technology do we have that's going to continue to grow and continue to flourish and be unique in the years to come? And I saw that, as smartphones were getting smarter and more people were carrying smartphones, and that people wanted their data on that device. You hear a lot of conversations about, was it going to be desktop computers? Was it going to be tablets? Was it going to be mobile phones that people were going to really gravitate towards? And I think we really saw in the industry that people were migrating more and more to their smartphones as their main way of communicating. And that paid off because, as you see, about 99% of the people in the United States, or actually in the world, are using smartphones as their premier device of choice on how to communicate. Right. So I wanted to find a technology that was going to help those people with that device be able to communicate. And, I kind of liked marketing at the same time, and putting the two together just kind of made sense. And that kind of led me to this. And here we are.
Yeah. And I think it's been an interesting journey to see just what you said, which device was going to be the one of choice. Mm-hmm. Because I think people do use, their iPad and their phone and their everything, but usually there's the one go-to.
Right.
The phone is the one that we have with us everywhere. So let's talk about text marketing and what that can look like. And I want to get into the why we should use that. But for somebody who's not familiar with it, what is text marketing and how can it be beneficial?
Okay. Well, what text marketing is that it's the capability for a brand to be able to communicate with their clients, their customers via their mobile device. And what text marketing is being able to take a very short message. Usually it's a message that's going to be about 160 characters long, so a very short message.
Mm-hmm.
And be able to push that message out to your customer's mobile handset and be able to offer them information about goods and services, promotions that they've got coming up. If it's a case of a school, maybe it's something like sending out text alerts to talk about school being closed for the day because
yes.
of no alerts and things like that. It may be for charity or nonprofit to be able to use it for raising donations. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of companies, it's just to be able to push out information about their products and services, major events that they're having, or just putting out even a survey or a contest or trivia. All those different things all kind of play into what text marketing is.
Awesome. And for the average business owner, why should they use this? Like, particularly if they're using email and that's been their kind of go-to communication method with their customer base.
Well, why they should use text marketing, and I like the fact that you kind of brought up email marketing. Email marketing we've all been used to for the past 20 plus years, and email has pretty much run its course here in the United States. And I think it's almost taken on a bad light because I always like to ask my clients as I'm sitting down with them for the first time, think about on your emails right now on your desktop when you got up this morning. How many emails do you have that you've got unread on your email database right now? So I'm asking you that question. How many emails do you have that are unopened right now?
I only have I have mine segmented. So my important emails, I have 5, and there's probably hundreds of everything else.
Perfect.
And I think, like most people, I also do the click and just delete because I don't have to get to them.
Perfect answer. Yeah. Now, the other part of that is on your text messaging. How many unopened text messages do you have right now?
0.
Thank you very much. That rests my case. And that's why brands and companies use text messaging marketing. It's the most effective way to reach your customers right now. As you mentioned, and you just explained in your own words, right now we all get so much spam. We get so much unneeded emails that just clog up our email database. So with that, email open rates have dropped down below 20% in the United States over the last couple of years. So people aren't opening their emails. They're just letting them go to the spam filter. They're going delete as soon as they see them, or they come back to them later if later ever happens. But with a text message, though, that sense of urgency is still there where people, whether we're sitting in a meeting, we're sitting in a coffee shop, we're sitting with, unfortunately, even if we're sitting across the table from our spouses, if that text message notification goes off, we're going to read it. We're programmed to read it. And that's why you see such a high open rate. And when I say open rates, I'm talking about with text messaging, you're looking at a 97% open rate. And out of that 97% open rate, read rate of that text message, 90% of those messages are being read within the first 3 minutes of delivery.
Oh, wow.
That is a powerful tool for brands and for marketers, is to be able to have a tool that has such a high call to action that gets the end user responding immediately to what that message is.
So cool. And correct me if I'm wrong too. For me, at least, it's easier to read the text message. 1, because it's short, but 2, I can memory bank it and remember whatever it was they were saying. Or it's easier for me to take the action and click the little link if I want to as well. And I presume that's the case with most people as well, as opposed to having to read what sometimes is a very lengthy email to get the 2 seconds of information I need.
Very true. As we both kind of talked about there, there's 160 characters in your standard text message. We do also have another part of it that's called MMS, which is the capability of sending messages of 500 character lengths. But now with both of those products or tools, we can also do things like include a link. And with that link, now you as a marketer or brand, you can go ahead and attach, you have your opening message that you're going to have, but then you can include a link that might take that prospect or that customer to maybe your website or to a mobile coupon or whatever your offer is, and be able to open up that to see the rest of the message. Now with MMS, now you can also include videos. So if you have a marketing video for your company, then you take them straight to a video page. Or if you're a charity or a nonprofit, take them right to a donation page and be able to get that customer involved with whatever the offer is that you've got at that particular point. So we can do a lot of different things with that very short message that's going to grab the person's attention and then be able to move them to whatever that call to action is.
I love it. I love it. For me, it's fun.
For me, it's fun too. I enjoy it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with this business.
Yeah. We talked about the email. What about social media? Like if somebody is more social media based, how can texting help them close more deals?
That's a great question. And I love partnering with social media companies as far as, helping them to finalize their offer or enhance their offer. Because if you are doing something on Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the other great tools out there, you can, on those sites, be able to include a link telling people to be able to go to, from that social media location, click on that link to get more information, and then take them straight to the text marketing campaign. Now, where it really has a lot of power is that once you get that person to click on that link and go off of Facebook or LinkedIn and go to your connection on that link, now you've captured that person's information, their data, and now you've got a tool to now where you can do follow-up marketing to them. Because as you know, if somebody just goes to your Facebook page or your LinkedIn and checks you out, you have no idea that they're there and if they're moving on your offer or not. But with text messaging, once they click on the link and you've invited them to opt into your campaign and they accept that invitation, now they're basically saying it's okay for you to talk to them with ongoing messages or communications.
Right.
So now, like I said, now you've got a tool to where you can kind of continue that conversation going forward with offers or possibly setting up a meeting or inviting them into your event, whatever it is that you want to do. So like I said, we partner very, very well with social media to take, to kind of being that finishing step to kind of take that communication to the next level.
Right. Do people feel like the text messaging campaigns are more personal too?
They definitely can be, because you can, depending on how you capture that data, you can personalize it with a person's, name, and then direct those messages to them by their first name and have that conversation with them. So yeah, it is. And it's more personal because you are, inviting that marketer or that brand to communicate with you, because with text messaging, it is an opt-in program. So what that basically means is that you were saying that I want to hear from you, Andre. I want to know what you're selling or what your brand is or what your message is. So now it has become more personal because I'm interested in you, because you have something that I'm interested in as a person or a company or an end user.
Okay, super cool. I love it. I mean, I think it's great to be able to, communicate kind of directly and have everything seen so quickly.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Curious too, how can somebody use this to build their list?
Okay, as far as list building, we partner with you to build your leads list. So we look at some of the different tools that you're using right now as far as how are you communicating with folks. And I'm always amazed at and impressed with a lot of my clients when I'll sit down with them on initial conversation and ask, have you been collecting cell phone numbers over the years? And most people say, yes, we have. They come back with, I don't know why we were collecting numbers, but we just always felt someday we're going to need those cell phone numbers.
Right.
And sure enough, the day is here, because now what I can do is I can take that information and we can help them reach out to that person by following the proper TCPA laws. We can reach out to that end user one time and invite them to join the campaign. And when they do that, then if they do choose by responding yes, then we can put them into your marketing campaign. And they're already used to talking to you because they're already buying your goods and services. So now all of a sudden you can take it to that next level as far as reaching out to them with text message offers or information about your company.
I love it. It's fantastic. So it's really a way to have an easy opt-in and take advantage of some of those people that you've been carrying around some of their information, but you're not connecting with them on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's another strong tool because, again, you're reaching out to them with, newsletters or social media or email or whatever. Mm-hmm. But as we've all found out over the years, a lot of those tools just are falling short now, as far as newsletters. We're all busy. We don't read those newsletters as fast as we used to. And as we talked about already with email, we're not reading the emails. So, yeah, this is definitely by far. And again, I'm going to go back to something that you said, too, is, the shortness of it being 160 characters. I can look at it real quick and get the gist of what the message is. And with that, then I can choose whether I want to go ahead and read it right now or maybe come back to it a little bit later when I have more time in my day. But the nice thing about a text message is that it stays up high in your list on your mobile device. So you don't have to go scrolling through 50, 100, 200 posts or feeds trying to refine that message and not ever being able to find it and just say, oh, the heck with it, I'll forget about that offer at this time.
Right. No, I totally agree. And what about, I get texts on my phone sometimes from random phone numbers or whatever. Is that spam or is that something else?
That would be considered spam. Yes. You're 100% right. That would be considered spam, and that is very illegal. And you just heard me mention just a couple of seconds ago the TCPA, and the TCPA, that is the governing body that governs our industry. And they're a great organization as far as really keeping us in line and making sure that we're following the rules of being able to use, text marketing. But every once in a while, you're going to find somebody that violates that rule. And you'll see these offers on the internet saying, come to us and buy this list of 10,000 numbers.
Right.
The list that you might have put together at the home show that you went to and you filled out a card or something like that. And then they sell all those numbers to these data bank farms. And then they reach out to you. Yeah, that's very illegal because you did not opt into that campaign. You did not ask for that offer. And when you get those, I would urge you to report those, to be honest, because we don't want that in our industry. We want to keep it clean. Like I said, we want to be self-governing and keep this under control as far as the spam rate being very, very low. And I think we've done a good job of it by trying to make sure that those kind of things get reported.
Yeah. And I generally don't do anything because some of them are crazy. It's you've won $10 million by doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, uh-huh.
Yeah. Right. Yes, you're so right. And they'll try all kinds of quick buzzwords to get you to click on the link. And, I just advise if you don't know where it's coming from, then don't open it. I mean, it's the safest policy because even if you do open it and it has a link to it, you don't know where that link is taking you. So if you don't know the company, that's sending you the message, then don't accept it. We put a lot of, again, with the TCPA, there's a lot of rules in place. So what you want to see when you do get a text message from somebody that you're doing business with, most of the time you're going to see in that header the name of that company first. So you always know that campaign is coming from Macy's.
Right.
I get a lot of texts from Macy's. I'm on their database. So they're really good about the first thing that you see when you open up that is that this message is from Macy's. Then you'll see an offer. They're talking about their 20% off sale, their one-day sale. Then when you go past the header, then you click into it, then you'll see the body of it that'll have what the offer is. And those are the three most important things that you want to see in the message. And then obviously at the bottom of that message, you want to see that there's a way to opt out if you're tired of getting the messages, or if you need help to be able to click another link to be able to get to that person and be able to find out more about who they are.
Awesome. So if a business owner is kind of like thinking, maybe this is something I can use, one, what's a great way for them to get started? But are there any industries that just works better than others, or can any business owner take advantage of this?
It works across the board. If you have a customer that you're trying to talk to, then text messaging is for you. And when I say a customer, like I said, it could be you have a brick and mortar store and you're trying to bring people into your store. It works great for, a fashion boutique, a dog grooming company, anything like that. That's brick and mortar where you're trying to bring people in. It works great for that. But I've also mentioned charities and nonprofits. It's a fantastic way to work with that industry as well, to be able to help them raise funds or raise awareness of what they are trying to do out in the community. And right now, I'm starting to work with some local political campaigns, getting them ready for this upcoming election season to be able to help them get the word out about their campaigns and what their messages are. So it's across the board. So everything from brick and mortar to charities to social issues and schools, everything.
I want to switch gears a little bit and get into just a little bit about how you've grown the business, et cetera. And what's the one thing that you've learned as you've grown this business and, really kind of stepping out of corporate and having to do things differently, I presume, because I think having your own business is definitely, a different mindset.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. And, again, being a corporate executive for a lot of years, I'll tell you the one thing that you probably understand this very well as a lot of your listeners, when you're a corporate executive, you've got so much good support staff around you to do everything. I had an incredible team that worked for me and worked with me. And pretty much all I had to do is pick up the phone and say, I need this. And there was a department that made it all happen. And as an entrepreneur, I pick up the phone and I call myself. So it's like, okay, Andre, this is on you. So you got to figure out where those resources are and make it all happen. So that's probably one of your biggest lessons that you learn, is that you become very self-reliant very fast, and all those tools and people that you had supporting you aren't quite there, or aren't there in the same way as an entrepreneur.
Right. Are there things that you've learned to delegate after you kind of had to take on like all the hats and roles so that you can free up your time to grow? Or
Yeah, and to what I just said, I guess you do it in a different way, because even though you are an entrepreneur, you still find partners out there that are going to help you to succeed. You've heard it said by a lot of very famous people that you can't do it on your own, and that is so true. So the support team I do have around me right now is phenomenal, as far as the people who are managing the back end servers for me, the people that help me put together my marketing campaigns. Those people are phenomenal. My wife, she's phenomenal. I put her to work a lot of times helping me to put together campaigns and things like that. And just the support that she gives me on a daily basis, is very important. you got to be able to reach out to people around you to help you as a small business, because there's not enough hours in the day, and you can't be everything to everybody unless unless you're Superman. And I think even Superman probably has somebody that backs him up. so you get resourceful, and you learn to find other sources.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. For me, it becomes a time value moment where, like, if I can pay somebody else to do whatever task it is, generally ones that I don't want to be doing, and it's going to cost me less to pay them to do it than it is for me to bring in new business, then it's definitely done.
I agree. Amen to that one. Yeah.
Really look at that carefully. So what do you think the next evolution is for your business? Do you have something that you're reaching towards, or kind of a general idea of where you'd like to take your business next? Or,
at this point, I'm having so much fun, and the industry just continues to grow and change. So what I've already learned over the last 5 years that I've been running this company is that, change is going to happen. So the way we started the business, what the concepts were that I had, the business plan I had when I first started is totally different than what I'm right now with the business.
That's for everybody.
Yeah. So that is lesson one, is that you got to continue to adopt or accept change and be ready to move your business with those changes. Right. So like I said, I think the original plan that I started off with is 180 degrees different than where I'm going now. And that's because, I think I have a very good vision of where the industry is going, like we started off talking about at the beginning, because of what I saw when I was with the wireless industry, so I had that foresight. But where the industry is going, because things change so fast in technology, it's caused us to have to think a little bit different. And we've had to be able to grow and be adaptable to those changes. So to answer your question, I guess I can get in there in the long way here. But what I see in the next 5 years is our technology is going to continue to change. So text messaging is going to still be around 5 years. I still believe it's going to be probably the most dominant tool in 5 years. But I think the capabilities of it are going to continue to be enhanced, because we've added on new tools. We've added on the capability of, back when I first started, where it was just basically 160 characters of text, to now, like I said, you're including videos, you're including, GIF files, you're including the capability of having two-way text messaging conversations with your clients and setting up customer service or appointment reminders. So my goal is just to continue to just kind of evolve with the industry and just continue to see how big we can grow it.
I love it. I can't really wait to see what's next from the industry perspective too, because I think there's so many different things that you guys can play with that'll add so much value. And just kind of going back, and from the email perspective, I know a lot of my friends, they're either unsubscribing from lists, or they just don't even check stuff ever. And they're consciously like, I just don't do email anymore.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I love that you just said that, because people are opting out. They are opting out of some of these other things like email. And again, as the mobile phone industry continues to grow, and smartphones become smarter and smarter, I think texting is going to continue to be a big part of that. And part of that is, and you can relate to this, the apps. To do text messaging, it doesn't require that you download an app on your phone. And I think a lot of folks are getting kind of burnt out on apps on their phones. And I know on my own personal phone, I have so many apps. Every couple of months, I have to delete more apps to get more space on my phone.
Somebody was making fun of me because they're like, you have no space for anything else on your phone.
And that's most of us. I think we all got so excited in the beginning, and we downloaded every app. that was out there. And then we find out, gosh, now I can't even send a text message because I don't have any room left on my phone. So you start deleting. And so that's part of where I kind of see the industry going, is that people are getting away from apps and things like text messaging, which reside on your operating system. It's there, and it's, again, something that people are so used to. I think about my own kids. If I try to call them, they won't answer the phone. But if I and most of them, my 3 kids, I don't think any of the 3 of them even have their voicemail boxes set up. But if you text them, they will respond within seconds.
No, neither of my kids have their voicemail set up.
So it's by far, like I said, the most efficient way. And it's just going to continue on that way, because that's just what people really seem to love. And like I said, the industry is continuing to write more and more capabilities that can be put into a text messaging application.
Right. And I think it's simple. I think that's the thing that makes it so easy to use and communicate, is that it's right there. It's simple. You don't have to do anything, and it's quick. So I'm really excited, as I said, to see what happens. And you have a really cool offer to share if somebody's, wants to check out doing more text campaigns. So share that with everybody and how they can connect with you, et cetera.
Okay, yeah. I was putting out the offer to you today is for anybody over the next 30 days that would like to try out our service, that we will take $50 off the activation fee. So our activation fee is $199 activation time, one-time setup fee to get your campaign set up. And, one thing about my company is that we're a full service marketing company, meaning that we are going to work with you to write your campaigns, to schedule your campaigns, and push those messages out for you. There's a lot of software that's out there in the market where you can subscribe to it, but then it's totally up to you as the end user to figure out how to use that software, how to write your own campaigns, how to make it fit in 160 characters, and then make sure that it's all still legal as far as CCPA rules, and push that message out. And so us being a full service marketing company, we take care of all of that for you.
I think it's amazing. And I really want to highlight that, because I've written some campaigns, for my stuff, and it takes a long time, and then you've got to test it and figure out what's actually going to connect with people.
Yes.
And to have somebody help you, particularly if you're new to it, is like hours and hours and hours of time saved.
It can be a heart-wrenching experience for a lot of people who don't do it for a living. Yeah. What I like to tell people is, you're an expert at what you do for a living. That's why you're successful doing what you do. And I'm successful because I know how to write these campaigns in 160 characters and make them work. And so, let me do that for you, and you go off and do what you do best. So again, my clients are usually they'll send me a text message, they'll send me an email and just say, Andre, this is what the campaign needs to say. And myself and my team will go ahead and rewrite it. We'll shrink it down to 160 characters or 500 characters. We'll build the links for you and make sure everything works. Make sure we got all the legalese in there, and then be able to push, you get your approval, of course. And then once you approve it, then we schedule the message to go out.
Awesome. It's awesome. And how can everybody connect with you?
The quickest way is just to go ahead and hit my website, and that's www.returningpoint.net. And that's the quickest way to find out who we are. Or go ahead and email me at Andre, ANDRE, at returningpoint.com. And, we'll get right back to you as quick as possible. You can even text me, too. I answer texts.
There you go. So if somebody wanted to text you, how would they do that?
They can text me at 425-766-4286. So that's 425-766-4286. Awesome. And that's actually probably the best way, because I do return every single text I get, and I try to return those usually within an hour or two.
All right, cool. Very cool. And I'll be in the show notes too. So if you're interested in reaching out to Andre and you didn't get the phone number because texting is best, go down and scroll down and find the show notes because it's right there too. So thank you so much for being on. I'm really excited we had to chat and hear about everything that texting and text marketing can do now.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed this today.
Yeah, awesome. And for everybody watching, we'll see you next week. As an entrepreneur, do you ever feel isolated, like you're just grinding away and not getting to the place or reaching the goals that you want? Maybe you've realized that you just spent days, weeks, or even months trying to accomplish something only to figure out that the answer that you have would have saved you all of that time. I know I've had that experience and my clients have as well. And that's why I created the Tribe of Leaders Biz School. Get the accountability, the training, and the knowledge base in a community of like-minded people who are there to support you. Go ahead and check it out. It's thetribeofleaders.com.